This is the Tyre Power pre-game show. I'm Alan Crane, and next to me this afternoon is none other than Darren McDonald.
Thanks, Craney. Beautiful atmosphere out here today at Brunswick Showgrounds. A bit of cloud in the sky, but geez, a week's made a difference since that rain. Everything's greened up and it's extremely picturesque, but more importantly, a much improved Harvey Brunswick Leschenault outfit taking on the reigning premiers, who have started a little bit in the beginning of this season. So interesting game ahead, Craney.
There is at that, and we'll just do a conditions report thanks to Garage Doors Southwest accredited B&D dealers, Darren, and I can tell you there's 21 degrees here, barely a breath of wind, and it absolutely perfect conditions for football. The oval looks, as Darren said, after that rain that has really freshened the oval up, it is looking in magnificent condition. And Darren, this is Dan Leach's favourite ground because in the background is the high rolling hills of Brunswick. It's pretty spectacular, isn't it?
It is. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you're watching us on the stream, to your right of screen, we'll be kicking towards the Peters Ice Creamery end. To your left of screen, we're kicking to the Harvey end.
Dean Lomax got a little bit overruled there because he called it the scoreboard end, but you liked your ice cream, Macca, so you just called it in as...
You got to add colour to the call.
In the earlier games today, in the women's, HBL 1-2-8 were defeated by Busselton, 13-9-87. Very big result for the Busselton women. And in the reserves, HBL 12-10-82 defeated Busselton 7-7-49. And the Colts game, which has just finished, HBL another good win, 15-7-97 to Busselton 7-7-49. Both sides are out on the ground, and this is our first look at HBL for the season. As we said, they've been in magnificent form. They went to Harvey in round one, and they really turned it on under new coach Derek Hall.
Yes, both sides warming up for Hearth House, Craney.
That's a good one to throw in.
Tell me, mate, because I haven't seen a lot of HBL over the last couple of years. What has been the main changes for them coming into this season? Because they have had a young list for the last couple of years, and as they've been maturing and getting games under their belt, but they weren't winning too many games. What's been the big changes?
A couple of their local players have returned from Peel and just stabilised that midfield a bit, which has let Carboni, run a bit freer. He was getting targeted big time last year. They've sturdied up their back line, and Blake Offra and Jared Humphreys they've reaped the rewards of the midfield dominance. And when the ball's coming into class players like that, it makes it very hard for any defence to counter. But make no mistake about it, Busselton very good defensively.
Yes, and Busselton on the other side of the coin after a wonderful season last year, culminating in a premiership. But there's been quite a few changes down at Beauville Park, Cranian. The last time we covered them a few weeks ago now, they were soundly beaten by Bunbury. But there's some notable players from that premiership side that aren't in there. There's two backmen in Zach Petherbridge, the really stingy fullback and a rangy looking fella, and then Jakey Dugan. He was their great interceptor and quarterback, if you like. And then the centre half forward, Castadecki. That's three tools out of your line, out of your premiership lineup,
and
out of your spine.
Add Jackson East to that, who's an absolute star.
Oh, yes, he
is.
But
Petherbridge, one of the best fullbacks in the league. Umpires for today's game in the field: Cameron Volanti, Damon Rossi, and Henry King. In the boundary, Nick Skoda, Daniela Schumann, and Brady Larson. And in the goals, Marty Tompkins and Jason Morrow. Now we must make a very special mention, Macca, to Matt Fink, 150 games for HBL. I reckon this is an outstanding effort. We spoke to their coach on the ball on Friday, and he was full of praise for this young man. He sort of come through the twos. He's worked very, very hard to get to where he has, and outstanding effort.
Well done. He's how old would he be, Craney?
That's a good question, Macca.
But he's been around a little while and the club stuck by him?
Absolutely. Well, he does all the right things. He trains hard, and I think that's the key to it. People don't realise just how valuable and how much you need to train. No matter how good you are, even the stars, and your young bloke plays at the very top level, put their hard yards in on the track first.
Absolutely. I can just see a young fella in the Magpies jumper there wearing number 19, not listed for us today, Craney. So
We'll find that out.
I'll need to get the crowd to let us know who it might be.
Well, we can let you know that HBL are kicking to the scoreboard or the creamery and wherever you want.
Creamery and Peter's Ice Creamery.
So that'll be interesting. I tell you what, not very far away from a start. This should be an absolute belter of a clash. Both these sides. As I said, Busselton, well, they got a little bit embarrassed, didn't they, for such a club the other couple of weeks? So they're ready to bounce back. And it looks like Henry King will have the ball in the middle of the ground as an umpire checks a 666. As the siren goes, you're listening to SEN Spirit, and this is Darren McDonald.
Here's our first ball up for KFC, and Ward and Kennedy went at it. Kennedy won it for the Magpies. However, it's picked up by Anderson, has a bounce for HBL and drives it out to left half forward. Coming out to meet the ball is Offer, can't quite gather it. Magpies rebound. Ball's in dispute. Picked up again by Anderson. Has another go going forward, and that's a beautiful lead and spot up by on the chest of Manuel. He looks to go to the hot spot, looking for Humphreys, and he did get mitts on it. Couldn't take it. Lucky not to be given a free for a smack in the back of their head. Ball plays on Meadmore, brought to ground by the Magpies, and for the Magpies by Heenan, and the umpire's going to ball it up about 40 metres dead in front.
I'll tell you what,
the HBL goal.
We spoke about Ty Anderson's. He had two very quick ones.
Yeah, he's pretty tidy.
Very quick.
Yep. Out it comes now. HBL have the ball through Piper, goes to the hot spot. Good contest at full forward. HBL off the deck, but Fraser intercepts that. Fires out a handball to Ganza. His kick's partly smothered. Attack there by Ferguson, but he's met solidly. And it is really intense early in this game. Umpire has said that was a rough tackle, and it looks like it will be HBL to line up on goal.
Tell you what, it's noticeable the pace of HBL fairly early on. They're very quick to get going as we get Ferguson having his first deliberate shot for goal for the afternoon.
Kicking towards the Peter's Ice Creamery end, 45-degree angle, 45 out. Looks pretty good. Well done to Ferguson. He draws first blood for HBL at their home ground today.
Yeah, look, they are very, very quick around the contest. That's what I've heard from all reports. And Anderson started the game very well. His pace is going to be a handful for anyone. I'd hate to be tagged.
Very happy with that, and we'll be hoping that, or the Magpies will be hoping that they can make use of. Looks like Kennedy has got a few inches on Ward in the ruck, so he should win a few. He's won it again. Lee was pulled off the ball, or it's Tenardi rather, and Anderson wins the ball out again. Half back for the Magpies. Fraser gets it. Handball out to Ganza. Ganza by hand back to Fraser. Fraser goes by hand up the wing. Misses Brody Howe. And the ball's out of play. And there'll be a ball up just in front of the HBL dugout.
Because HBL missing big Jack Fletcher, their normal ruckman this afternoon.
Ball to come back into play. This one down by Ward. Flicked it over the back. That's clever football. HBL try to pick up the footy through Saunders. Ball's in dispute, but then they eventually get it forward. Very, very good. Intercept mark to Lucas Kemp, new addition to the Magpies this year. He goes long down the middle of the ground, but a beautiful mark.
Actually, Lucas Kemp's first game today too. He's a local lad back from East Perth, so he's a big addition to the Busselton side.
The 150 gamer Matt Fenwick took that intercept as HBL moved forward, hitting the lead. They're really using the ball well. There's not a lot of pressure on the kicker. Ball spills out. Ferguson, the goal kicker, head over it. Just keeps it in. Has a shot on goal. Bellies the ball. Rolls across to the opposite forward pocket. They set out after it. Jack Williams picks it up really well with one hand. As he went to get around his opponent, he took it out of bounds. So there'll be a ball in for Dale Alcock Homes Southwest, proud supporters of local footy, of course.
I thought Ferguson was going for the Western All Pair Services goal of the day early on, but he missed it.
One down by Kennedy, picked up by Meadmore, gets it, tumbles it forward on his left foot, picked up by the Jackrabbit, Patterson, brings it into the middle of the ground. This is good work by the Magpies as McDonald takes the mark. Angus McDonald in the centre circle, goes out to right half forward. There's no one in particular. He's asked Parkinson to run on. He's got 2 to beat and does very, very well. Ball's thrown on the boot by Brody Howe. It's at full forward now.
Oh,
and
strength.
there's a snap-on goal by Chinnery.
Wow.
The big boy. Umpires confer. We're not quite sure here.
Gee, I tell you what, that was pure strength by Chinnery.
Just checking that no one got a fingernail on it, I think, Alan.
Yeah, they're just gone to the board.
Oh, it
it's
has.
touched.
Touch, so the Magpies still without a goal. It's
That must have been called by the field umpire.
HBL 1 straight to the Magpies 1 point.
I was just going to put that down for one of our goals of the day.
Well, Jonathan Fenwick's taken the mark out in the back pocket for HBL, and another good mark by HBL there at the back half-back flank as they're now out of defence's 50. Short pass. That finds Hamish Ward on the chest. They're using the ball well. Goes long down that far wing. Good mark by Heenan. He goes, wheels around on the right boot, goes long. Oh, the anticipation was terrific by Bowman, but it went through his hands and he falcon it. As a result, Fraser's got a bit of work to do. They're trying to outrun an opponent with much longer legs. And the ball's still inside the boundary line. They scrap for it. The mud's starting to fly up on this Brunswick turf after the rain over the last couple of weeks. And there will be a ball up just inside the boundary in the right forward pocket.
I'll tell you what, the pace of both these sides is pretty impressive early on. HBL, as you say, Darren, don't mind getting on the outside and using the ball very well.
Yep. One down by Ward for HBL. Coming through was Bowman, brought to ground. Umpire's going to ball it up again. Right in the same spot. HBL really asking questions of the Magpies early. One down by Kennedy. Oh, coming through really well was the HBL player. They scrapped for it. Umpires found a free kick. He's paid holding the ball. And the kick will be taken by Tenardi. Tenardi goes up and spots up Kemp, who now elects to go to switch it across the ground. It's a dodgy kick.
Oh,
very good
mark.
work there by Williams. Great contested grab, and he needed to. Now he comes up to half-back. Good work to Ganza. He's right at true half-back now. Goes up to the wing. Finds a teammate there, this number 19, who we're unsure who he is, and he drives it forward. And there's Lee Creighton, the first time we've seen him today. Gets a good handball out to Meadmore. Comes back into the centre circle and finds Kobe Howe, who in turn goes on to Patterson. Patterson goes long on that favoured left foot looking for Chinnery. Chinnery can't mark it, doesn't bowl any over, and HBL gather the ball. Bring it down the ground.
Nice little kick for touch.
And it's just hit inside the boundary line and rolled out. Craney, what are you seeing so far?
Well, look, I'm loving the pace of the game all up, and I just think Chinnery looks dangerous if Busselton can get it in quick enough for him to go one-on-ones, but the HBL defence are quick to get back in, give a hand.
Ball comes back into play. One down by Kennedy. Really good work by Tenardi, but he's looked up straight away. And HBL emerge again with the football. Westworth takes the mark. Goes across inboard. That's a really good pass.
They're really confident
Finds
too.
Carboni on his left foot. Away they go. Ball's in the middle of the ground with Templeton. He plays on immediately. He's got all on his own is Boucher. Picks it up, there's Billy Boucher. Does a little two-step. Comes back into the middle of the ground. They're unselfish. They share the ball well as Carboni goes long for goal.
Three.
Carboni gets number 2 for the HBL.
That was brilliantly worked by the HBL side. I love the confidence of
wow.
the way they go about it. Jeremy Westworth, a young fella, he'd had no trouble about going through the middle.
Remind me of what Busselton have been like the last few years with their midfielders having that sixth sense, not being afraid to really use a short ball, and That's the way they're playing at the minute.
The confidence is big, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you cut it up.
Busso need to increase their pressure, but on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, it's HBL 2 straight and Busselton just the one behind. Up they go. One down by Ward, picked up by Tenardi. He goes away on his left, goes to half forward. No one can mark. Patterson's the first to revive out the back. Picks it up, goes on to his left. Looking for Chinnery in the pocket. He slipped over at a vital moment and a very, very good relieving mark in the back line by HBL. Goes across the ground. Mark taken by Gwalter. Gwalter comes up to the half-back flank. Looking really good there was Brodie Howell in the intercept. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Ball is now over the line. I wish...
We'll keep an eye on these Harvey Norman interchange benches too. At this pace, they'll need a bit of a spell.
I did see a Harvey Norman van rock up with some cushioned benches.
It's nice to be comfortable on the bench.
You got to. Splinters are no more. Kennedy gets it down to Parkinson, just sort of pops it up to no one in particular. Free kick appealed for and won by Saunders but without the ball. For HBL. Goes wide. No, that is Saunders there, sorry. And then he goes back into the corridor. Coming up is Templeton, takes the ball on his chest. Standing the mark is Brodie Howell. Still at half-back, hard up against the boundary line. Templeton plays on, goes down the line, they fly. No one can take the mark. Ball's gathered by Kemp and he puts the mongrel punt up to centre half forward. Patterson off the pack again, been very good so far today. Ball picked up by Seth Mateo. Goes, dribbles it into the pocket. Met ball by Chinnery. Comes back out to Brodie Howell. He's wrapped up immediately in the pocket. And there'll be a ball up in the left forward pocket for Busselton.
We spoke about Lucas Kemp coming back. He's going to be pretty handy already. He's had a couple of touches.
And we're 11 minutes in to this first quarter. Ball struggles forward. Ooh! And the ball is forced over the point, over the behind line with Lee getting after it. I thought he was going to clean up that point post. HBL bring the footy out of defence, have a bounce. Two bounces, and then there's a tackle. Umpire said you've had too long.
Might be one too many there, I think.
The ball. That was Gwalter.
He was looking for options up the field and just changed his mind at the last minute. A dangerous thing to do, Macca.
Busselton go down to the pocket. Really good contest there by HBL. That was Carboni in there. Creighton couldn't really mark it. They moved the ball really well. Here's Anderson again. Cuts through the middle of the ground. Comes across. He's got options there. They set out after, puts it into space. Fraser, he confronted Templeton. Templeton just forced the ball forward. Gets it on to, it was Westworth, and Westworth ended up being intercepted by
Jared
Bowman.
Humphries on. If he had his time again, maybe he would have looked a bit wider. But the young fella's seen the goal hang up. That's a brilliant smother.
Brodie Howard's kick smothered by Ferguson, was Manuel. Manuel still laying tackles. Tenardi dishes a handball off to Kemp. As you said, Craney racking him up. Probably just needs to tidy up his footwork a little and he'll be all right.
Tell you what, HBL coach Derek Hawke would love that right in front of him, prepared to throw your body on the ball and just hold it up a bit.
Going to be a ball in for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes.
Pretty ferocious start.
Absolutely it is. Ball one down by Ward. Taken by Carboni. Sipped it out to a teammate who dribbles it down the wing and just in front of the HBL dugout on centre wing there will be a ball up. Just here on the members' side at the showgrounds.
Looking for a peak performance from City and Regional Fuels too.
And so far there's been quite a
few. They're full of fuel anyway, Darren.
Ball one down by Perks of Busselton. Tenardi has the ball again, gets it to Brodie Howell, who's been pretty busy, drives it to centre half forward and coming in and taking an uncontested chest mark is Gwalter. Gwalter comes through the corridor and it's intercepted by Brodie Howell, so he gets a chance to find a teammate this time, and he does because running past was Kobe Howell. He goes wide out to half forward, and that's a really strong mark to someone in the jumper number 34, not sure who it is.
That's strong hands, isn't it?
Yeah, Tenardi drives it forward, and that's a good strong mark to Patterson. He's been really busy, Dylan Patterson. He can be really effective. He's got good pace. He's dead in front. He's about 35 metres out. Busselton desperately need this goal. In he comes. Patterson, left foot, puts it up nice and high. Just misses to the far side.
Doesn't mind a goal either, does Patterson. Good to see him back. Missed the game against Bunbury, but he is a vital cog in this Magpies unit.
Ball comes back into play.
And didn't spin right, Macca, but it worked out.
Got to Carboni. Nonetheless, took a chest mark, uncontested. He's in the back pocket. Brings it long down the line. Ward sets himself, gets a hand on it. Ball's picked up by Perks. Dishes it off to Parkinson. Brody Howell again, really in and under. Drives it long and strong. But the intercept mark taken by Williams. Plays on immediately to a teammate. Carboni now brings it out of defence, and that's a very, very good mark to Piper. Piper looking for options. Wish their HBL Guernseys had numbers on the front, Craney. Little right foot pass, little trick kick. Still inside D50 HBL on that far side. Looking for options. He's gone long, gets it to the wing standing. Underneath is Ben Gansey, who was reminiscent of Jakey Dugan there, the way he did that.
Yeah, same number.
Yep. And on his left foot, he pumps it into the pocket.
Oh.
Creighton couldn't gather it. Ball's on the deck. Picked up there by HBL. They're fighting hard down there and doing a magnificent job was Fraser Ward. Throws it on the left foot. Templeton comes in, couldn't quite take the mark. Ferguson dishes out a handball to a teammate who gets it along the wing to Manuel. Manuel fires in the handball to a teammate who got met pretty unfairly. Umpire picked it up pretty quickly. It looks like the Busselton player in Williams has come off second best as HBL play on, and there's a mark taken in the pocket by Martelli. Sorry, on the half-back flank by Martelli. Martelli for HBL brings it down the wing. Really strong mark by Manuel, but the umpires found a free kick going to Busselton way, saying that Tenardi was infringed in the contest.
Gee, that was a pretty good grab too
That
over
was
the
a
top.
beauty, 3 deep. Tenardi puts in an absolute sizzler to centre forward, finds Meadmore. Meadmore gets it out over the back to Mateo. Mateo in turn goes to the pocket looking for a teammate. Umpires paid the mark. Is it Creighton?
How good are that?
No, it's
couple
Kennedy.
I'm going to call him the elderly statesman, I suppose, in Tenardi and Meadmore then. Absolutely perfect. That kick from Tenardi, we were right behind that, and he just threaded the needle, didn't he? There wasn't much room for him, and then Meadmore exactly the same results in Busselton having a shot for goal.
So Kennedy fires on goal, 45-degree angles, about 30 metres out.
The big
Umpire
fella's
says,
done it.
You've done it. Busselton get their first goal. So suddenly, on the scoreboard, on the
Southwest Isuzu.
Southwest.
Just worked their way into the game, but as I said, the build-up to that was sensational. That is skills galore. That kick from Tenardi, it had to be perfect. It was, and Meadmore just out of the corner of his eye. It takes a couple of, they are absolute class players. They've been class players for a long time, and a nice finish by the big fella.
Yeah, really, really, really good work. It was a good mark that the umpire paid and finished off very nicely. The game is back on an equilibrium balance.
Oh, gee, it's on a what?
Up they go. Ball's one down by Kennedy, the goal kicker. It's kicked forward. Williams picks it up at half-back for Busselton. Heenan, he gives it off there in turn to Tartaglia. Tartaglia puts it up high. Fraser gets it off the ground for the Magpies. HBL still in pursuit. Templeton flicks the ball out. Tartaglia's there fighting for the football, but he's got company. Ball's taken there by Offer. He gets a handball astray. Tenardi emerges with the ball to Meadmore. These two combining well. Back to Tenardi. Puts a looping handball over to Kennedy. Tenardi runs on again. Gets his third possession in 2 seconds. Drives in a worm burner to Creighton. Handball's off to Mitch Tenardi again. He's running a marathon in a minute. Perks Picks up the footy, goes inside. Good kick. Patterson takes... No, umpire says play on. Mark not paid. Perks followed up his work. Ball's intercepted by Fenwick of HBL. And they bring the ball
Here
out
it comes
of the bench.
back again. Gee.
Saunders takes the mark on his chest. Just inside.
That's a
50.
work rate of Tenardi, though. He
Oh.
just, as you said, he probably picked up 5 touches just in that run.
I hope he's left some in the tank for the rest of the day because they need him. Really good intercept by Meadmore.
I think
on
I'd
the
be
wing.
having the Harvey Norman bench, actually, after that.
Meadmore got it onto Fraser on his left boot, and that's a very good pass. And Creighton, too much room there. Got the run and jump, and uncontested in the end.
Liam Crichton will be looking forward to put this one through, because if he's the sort of player, if he gets one early, he can just rise above everybody else. So this will be a good confidence booster for him.
He's dead in front, and he'll be kicking from about 45. So here we go. Lee Crichton.
A bit of tension around the crowd.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lull. In he strolls, the premiership full forward. Gets inside the 50 now. Gets in his skip. Sets sail on his right boot. Umpire's having to do a bit of work, and it's only a behind. So Creighton gets on the score sheet, but only a solitary behind.
Perfect day for football out here. The conditions absolutely magic.
Man.
Hardly a breath of air.
Not a lot of breeze to speak of, but if at all, it is favouring the Harvey end. Rightio. Ball to be brought back into play by Templeton. He goes out to the left half-back flank. 2 players contest the ball. Comes to ground, picked up by Lee. And the umpire's found a free kick, and it's going the way of HBL. They just spotted up to the wing. Meadmore intercepts. He is putting himself right in the frame for the WA Supermarket Player of the Day. Craney?
Yeah, very
Oh,
experienced.
sorry,
has done a
Carpet. Whatever, Super Carpets. Who are we doing it for? The Carpets.
bit. Yep. We'll have a
Best
look
on
at
ground.
them. Best
WA
on-
Carpet Supermarket.
That's
Sorry.
it.
HBL have the ball on the wing here with Ferguson.
Sorry, mate, you got me off ground. I was
Sorry,
trying to find a score.
So Ferguson goes in board. The kick's misdirected, and it's tied up there at half forward flank for Busselton. There'll be a ball up.
It's a nice game of footy, isn't it? Nice
It
and
is.
open. A good one to call,
Yeah,
Darren.
it's really good skills. Up they go. Kennedy takes on Heenan. Kennedy wins the ball down, only as far as Tartaglia, and he's wrapped up. So they'll do it all again.
I was just trying to find some matchups for the Southern Lock and Security to see whether Tenardi and Anderson were going head-to-head. Be a great one.
Ball's one down by Kennedy, but Anderson got to kick the ball clear. Clean bowls one pack. Now it's stuck on the wing. Picked up there by HBL's Manuel, and he's brought to ground. Umpire's going to ball it up. Up they go again, just forward of centre wing for HBL. One down by Kennedy again. Socket on by Parkinson. There's 1-on-2 with Howe. But picking up the
nicely
ball
done.
and just going through is Carboni. Gets a good handball off to a teammate. Now they go through the middle of the ground. Really good work there by Carboni, and he gave it back to Fraser Ward. It's now out on the wing for HBL. Comes back to Fraser Ward. Gives it across there to Jonathan Fenwick. Back to Ward. And then we've got Carboni on that left half forward flank. Goes on the left foot. Blake Offer on a great lead and takes the ball out in front. So
That was good out there. They just weren't prepared to give it away and weren't prepared to bomb it down the line with HBL, because there was a stood bustle and set up. They just flicked it around a little bit before they could find a lead, and Offer was on offer.
Yep. So Offer is going to kick from about 40
This will take a good
on
kick
the
from
right
here
side
too.
for a right footer on an extremely tight angle. In he comes, puts it up nice and high. It's going to hit the hot spot. They fly. No one can take the mark. It clean bowls the pack, and Parkinson sees it over the line for the Magpies. Just on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, HBL 2 straight 12, Busso 1-4-10. After a little bit of a slow start, Busselton played themselves back into this game, Craney.
They have, and of course we're looking for the Hemp Brothers Western Australia's rising star today.
One down by Kennedy. Shooting through was Martelli. Couldn't pick it up. Ball still in dispute as they fight for it. Martelli has it again. Handballs it out the back to Humphries. Oh, it does a fake, a pump, a two-step. Only he can do it left foot. Nice and high.
That is a good goal.
The HBL locals go up and the ice creamery down that end is flowing. Craney, 3 goals straight. 18 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. To Busselton, 1 goal for 10. HBL push back out to an 8-point lead.
Yeah, and look, we're looking for a Western. Goal.
He was like the rubber man there, Craney.
He's hard to tackle, isn't he? He's so strong. He's going. It's interesting. Humphries now moves into the middle. That's what happens. You kick a goal, you go into the middle of the ground. A bit of reward. So he adds a bit of experience into the centre of the ground.
Okay, and Heenan looks to be in the ruck, giving Ward a chop out, and Kennedy's back in there. We've got Tenardi and Parkinson. Up they go. One down by Heenan. Parkinson couldn't grab it. Fish got it to Parkinson, and Parkinson drives it long to centre half forward, and a very, very good mark taken by Carboni. He comes out to the left half-back flank, and Strano can't quite get hold of it and sees the ball over the line.
I think he thought about where he was going before the actual ball landed then.
Yeah, he had it spent before he had
Easy enough to do, don't worry about that.
I don't mind Carboni, Craney.
No, he moves very well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And having Anderson back, relief, took a bit of pressure off him.
Ball comes back into play for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes. Picked up by Tenardi. Gave it to Brody Howell, who's under pressure. It's pretty good. Finds the footy. Gets it to Kobe Howell, who snaps it in. But it's intercepted, and a good mark taken by Jonathan Fenwick. He goes inboard. It's a little bit of a muck-up, but it's taken by Boucher. He goes across the ground and gets it to Carboni in the half-back flank. Carboni, on his left foot, goes further out to the wing, puts it in front of McCullough and tells him to run. McCullough has a little bit of a fumble as he tries to bounce, and there's a siren for quarter time here at the Brunswick Showgrounds, and on the Southwest Suzuki scoreboard, it's HBL 3 goals straight, 18. Busselton 1 goal for 10, 8 points.
Very, very good game of footy so far, thanks to Bunbury Tyre and Exhaust, the 4-wheel drive tyres, and that was very quick. Both sides putting a lot into this, and it means a great deal to both these sides of 4 points. We'll be back after the break for the second quarter, which sees HBL 3 goals straight, 18, to Busselton 1 goal for 10. Thanks to our great friends at KFC and our good mates at Dale Alcock Homes Southwest. That was a very, very entertaining game of footy. I love the way that HBL just take the game on at all costs, Macca. There is a definite game style there that they want to throw it wide and bring it back through the middle.
They're not afraid to go back into the corridor and then get it over to the other side, on the fat side, where there's space to run, and then bring it into their focal points in Offa and Humphries, and the little fellas on the ground are fearless on the ground. They'll lock it in and force ball ups or kick a goal themselves. It's very, very encouraging if you're a HBL supporter to be watching this.
Just running through the goal scorers quickly, Piers Ferguson has 1. He had a very good first quarter, did Piers Ferguson. Jared Humphries had 1, and it's going to take a bit of stopping for our Western All Pass Services goal of the day.
Yep.
And Connor Carboni has 1 for HBL. And for Busselton, the big fella Jack Kennedy has their solitary goal. But I thought Busselton did pretty well because HBL started off lightning quick.
Yeah.
Ty Anderson had everything around the ball, and Connor Carboni. And then Tenardi started to get back into it. He is a star. And Meadmore, and she's pretty even travelling, even though there's a couple of goals in it. Yeah,
he and Meadmore got Busselton back into the game. I still feel like that HBL are bringing the ball into the forward line with less pressure on them.
So this is SEN Spirit, and we're away, Darren McCall.
KFC ball up was won by Kennedy, and Parkinson held when he was trying to get the football, and has a free kick in the middle of the ground for the Magpies. Goes across with a kick to Ganser. He can't mark it. It was too far to the left of him. Ganser pulls it back in, tries to get it to Parkinson, who now has his head over the footy. Oh, thrown off it when he didn't have it. Umpire said play on. And Ganser comes through and scoops it up. And ball is taken there beautifully by Kobe Howe. He gets it out to the half-back, and Busselton player runs on it, cannot take it. Ball is picked up by Manuel of HBL. Gets it back there to Piper. Shovels it back by hand to Tartaglia, who puts in a lovely pass to Strano. Strano goes wide with a bit of a flower bag.
Ball
Picked up beautifully by Offa.
goal.
Should have had a kick. Got a handball off to Boucher. Boucher fires on goal and has missed to the near side.
Tell you what, that ball handling by Blake Offa there was very, very special. As you said, he should have probably had a ping at goal, but he fed it off. Very, very good.
Ball to be brought back into play by Fraser of the Magpies when it's returned. In he comes. Fraser, a little short pass, finds Parkinson.
Parkinson, very good last time we seen him, and again he started off well.
Parkinson into Tenardi. Tenardi takes a good chest mark low to the ground.
Gee, you'd like his stats, wouldn't you? Week in, week out, Tenardi.
All due from hard running.
Absolutely.
Gets across to Fraser. Fraser then finds a teammate. He comes back. Still inside D50. The Magpies cannot really exit with any authority. Parkinson's out on his own, made some space, picks it up off the deck, gets it back to Bowman. Bowman then spots up Kemp. Kemp looking for options, doesn't like what he sees, so still continues to scan. They're still inside D50. Parkinson lurking, takes a mark on the boundary line.
Now he's just racking up stats, Macca.
Up they fly. Here comes Lee. Gave them some sort of presence through his movement. Now he comes back across the ground, really just maintaining possession of the Magpies. Still at half back. Lee, I think they're just going to try and force HBL to try and change their shape. So if they keep spotting up unmarked players. Kennedy goes at the ball, can't take the mark.
That's a bit of credit to HBL there. They closed off all the outs. We got a pretty good view of that, and they had nowhere to go. That's why they were forced around just looking for that opening.
So there'll be a ball in for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes, proudly supporting local footy. Right on centre wing here, right in front of the members.
The Harvey Norman interchange bench right in front of there.
If you haven't had any pumpkin soup from the canteen, go grab it. It's one of the best recipes I've tasted. Away you go. Fenwick. Only as far as Tenardi. Gave a hospital handball to Fraser. Now it's picked up by Jonathan Fenwick again. Goes to centre half forward. No one can take the mark. Ball's on the deck. Oh, player in Martelli grabbed while he didn't have it. Picked up by Lee. Got it back to Fish. Fish threw the ball up by hand. No one can get a handle on the football. Here's Anderson. Taps it to his own advantage. Gets a handball back to Gualter. Gualter goes across the ground. Over the head of Strano. He's good enough to gather it. Tries to get it out there to Matthew Fenwick, the 150 gamer. Ball there marked by Creighton at half forward for the Magpies. Comes back in to Tenardi, who's just continuing to find the footy. Now he goes inside forward 50. Well attacked by the Busselton player, but the ball eludes him. Ball's picked up there by Saunders, and he brings the ball up the ground, but Meadmore spoils it over the line. Good as Gualter, actually. Gualter getting over to his teammate Manuel and getting him off the ground.
He's been pretty good back there, Gualter. He's been under a bit of pressure.
Yeah. Really good work. They look similar back there, a lot of the HBL boys. One down by Kennedy. Parkinson puts his head over it, but Anderson just streaks by and steals it. He goes backwards and finds Carboni. Carboni on the left foot goes across there looking for McCullough. McCullough can't get the football. The ball was picked up by Chinnery. Got it back to Patterson on his left foot. Snap! What's happened? It is a goal. Oh.
Well, there's a bit of a chat going on.
He's waiting for the all clear from the central umpire. Oh, it's only behind.
That was just a bit of theatre for you, Macca.
Brussels sprout.
Let me just run around the grounds for Geograph Civil too. Donnybrook one straight lead. Dunsborough yet to score, and the game that's only just got underway.
And on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard,
that's the one.
HBL 3-1-19, Busselton 1-5-11.
Thanks to MGIB. Like a good neighbour.
That's you, Craney. Our expert comments.
I'm going to throw that around a bit, MGIB. They're good to us.
Rightio, Ferguson takes a mark at half-back, gets it up to Offer, outside D50 now, goes long down that outer wing. Ball hits the deck. Oh, HBL emerged with it through Billy Boucher. He tumbles it up forward. Well attacked. Busselton emerged with Fraser with the football. On his left foot, finds a teammate, takes it on his chest. Goes backwards by foot to Ganser. Ganser takes the mark, then comes across to Bowman. Bowman takes the mark at centre-half back, plays on, nothing to go to, wheels back on his left boot, goes on his right and finds Fraser, takes the mark. Fraser gets it out there to Williams. Williams gives it off to Kobe Howe by hand. Kobe Howe goes sloppily by hand to Williams. And
it was a bit telegraphed, wasn't it? You could see it coming up. I could see what they were trying to do. Just wasn't going to happen quick enough for them.
HBL are making it really hard for Busselton to get out of that D50.
They're closing back on defensive unit very, very well.
Mitch Tenardi has the ball in the middle of the ground, took a mark, comes across to Fraser.
He's been good.
Making himself available by hand to Parkinson. Just behind half forward, gets a kick up to Meadmore. Meadmore took a mark and probably a little bit harshly dealt with afterwards.
Yeah, oh, look, Johnny was looking straight at the umpire then.
Anyway, he's about 60 out. Goes to the hot spot, looking for a target. Ball can't be taken by Patterson. Being good early today. Patterson picked up, taken the ground, piled on top of. Be a ball up about 50 metres out from Busselton's goal on a 45-degree angle on this member's side.
This is going to test the fitness of both these sides. This is a fairly big oval, played at a very big pace.
In some fairly humid weather, Craney.
Absolutely.
There was a fair bit of sweat on the brow in those quarter-time huddles. Chinnery takes it out of the ruck, gets rid of it by hand. Gualter picks it up, then brought down as he takes it. Patterson again, throws it on his left foot. It's high. A really good spoil there by Brodie Howell, and it's knocked over the line by Williams of HBL. And Carboni's going to bring the ball back into play. Carboni goes out to Gualter, takes the mark in the back pocket. He comes out looking for Piper. It's not a great kick, and it clean bowls Piper, and Piper's going to have to go clean his pipes as the ball comes back into play.
Yeah, it wasn't the best delivery. Having said that, though, most things have been very smooth for Gualter this afternoon.
So ball to come back into play on the half-forward flank for Busselton for Southdale, Alcock, Southwest Holmes. In it comes. Ball one down by Kennedy. Fish came swimming through it and couldn't pick it up. Parkinson, he's got some sort of handball out. They still fight for it. You know what? They are so tenacious. They are not letting Busselton have a ball without any pressure. They are right on this, HBL.
Well, that's where they need to be, isn't it? That's what's going to win your games of footy.
One down by Kennedy. Tenardi can't get it. Tenardi said he was held without it, and the umpire agreed. Anderson was going to streak away with another possession. 60 metres out, bit worse than 45. Says, go to the hot spot. Where are you, Liam Creighton or Bo Chinnery? Oh, umpire says that Bo tried to give himself a bit of an advantage.
That wasn't the subtlest one from Bo Chinnery's end, but umpire was right on it.
It was a 1-on-3, poor old Bo.
This is a setup too.
Tenardi brings the ball to ground. Tartaglia for the Lions. Brings it back through into the corridor. Well worked to Anderson. He's taken a mark. He's still inside D50. Anderson has a bounce now. Takes off. Goes wide over to halfback. Here's Ferguson. Nearly gathered it really well. Running past was Gualter. Fumbled it. Ball's brought back into play by Kobe Howe. Big fist by Jonathan Fenwick. McCulloch has the ball. Gets it to Gualter. Almost look like twins. And Gualter goes out on the full.
Gualter's last two kicks probably haven't been the best, have they?
Kobe Howe gets a bit of the footy, but he can be a bit sloppy by hand and foot as Busselton come back into play, and there's a good mark to Ganser there. Still inside the centre square, and he finds the big fella from Busselton, number 34 at centre half forward, goes to the hot spot, and a fantastic
That's a great
mark
grab
there. Fantastic mark there to Matthew Fenwick, the 150 gamer.
Can even give that a bit of a chance for the CPR outdoor centre mark of the day, Darren.
Absolutely. Carboni takes the mark on the back flank and off the side of the boot and out on the full, and Fraser smiles as he picks up the footy, or is it a grimace from all the running he's done. Goes inside, finds Tenardi. Far out. Craney. I'd hate to be doing his stats.
Yeah.
I would have changed 5 pens by now.
He just racks them up week in, week out.
Oh, goes the dummy, then the other dummy, one way, then the other. Drives it long to the hot spot. Chinnery this time does it fairly. No, the umpire says unfairly again. I couldn't see what was too wrong with that one, to be honest. Maybe the umpire just thought the size of the opponent in McCulloch was an advantage enough. McCulloch goes out wide to the half-back flank. Gualter brings the ball to ground very well. Picked up by Jonathan Fenwick, and Gualter's earned a free kick for being held in the
HBL
contest.
having a bit of trouble getting out of this defensive unit.
They're not having any trouble getting free kicks as Carboni comes through the middle of the ground, and a mark on the chest of the Busselton player. Just forward to centre wing for the Magpies. Magpies doing a lot of attacking.
Yeah,
Craney
but the
with
goals
that no
are dried
score.
up.
Really a dummy then. In they come. Goes right into the hot spot, and standing up there and taking the mark is Gualter.
You got him with the pink boots, haven't you, Macca?
I think so.
Oh.
And he goes to McCulloch. McCulloch then gives off to Carboni. He looks for options. Can't find it, so goes to Spiral.
To the runner.
It's hit the runner's shoe.
That's a stat.
Yeah, what happens there?
That's a kick, I would think, to Busselton.
The runner,
HBL.
the runner did everything he could get it away, but it was a homing missile.
It zeroed in on him, didn't it?
It was a homing missile.
I'm going to give him a stat. Maybe that's a Buckingham, the big moments.
Strano on the wing. Goes long. Ball's taken off the pack by Fraser Hamish Ward, and he found Humphreys on the chest, who's going to line up for his second.
Nice kick that. Just put it out in front of Humphreys, and he has got a very good set of hands.
So the runner will, if he kicks a goal or a point, the runner gets a score involvement here,
I'll
Craig.
give him a stat, mate. I'm just looking at a full ward. Maybe City and Regional Fuel's peak performance. He was running flat out, wasn't he? And the footy just kept following him.
It was fantastic to see. Here he comes. He's dead in front, Humphreys. He's going to kick from about 40. Let's fly. It's a textbook drop punt. It's as clinical as you like.
Miss them.
No mistake. Fantastic work by Humphreys to get his second. And suddenly that scoreboard for Southwest Isuzu is 4 goals, 1-25 to Busselton, 1 goal, 6-12. Busselton desperately need a goal, Craig.
It happens because everyone's crowded down here and leave the opposition open. If it's a quick swing back, unfortunately the runner got a kick, but it went to Humphreys. He made no mistake.
Tell you what, Mitch Tenardi's doing himself no harm for the WA Cup at Supermarket Best on Ground, Craney, but he's leading a lone hand at the moment. One down by Kennedy. Streaking through was it Tenard? Lee this time. We haven't seen much of him today, Craney. Lee.
Bob's up a little bit, doesn't he? But I know he prides himself on his good performance.
Ward and Kennedy wins this one down. It eludes Tartaglia. Fish
how'd he
overruns
do
it. Well done by Carboni. Got it to Templeton. Templeton tapped it down, found Anderson. Sort of running a few nice little figure eights there as he goes out on the wing and finds Carboni. Carboni comes back in board, finds Templeton. Umpire won't pay the mark, said it was a bum ball. Carboni backs up on the left foot, drives it long, looking for Humphreys. Humphreys outmanoeuvres his man, now gets the ball in, but it's hit the point post on the full, I think. And that will be brought back into play by Fraser.
That ball handling by Carboni is a bit surreal sometimes, isn't it? It looks like he's got it on a string, and Ty Anderson looks like he runs on top of the ground. I know it's silly, but he glides, doesn't he?
It's beautiful. It was like he was a figure skater there doing figure eights.
That's right.
And the ball, umpires, now Bowman is going to get the kick in though. We're trying to work out whether it's out on the full or not.
I think it hit the behind post on the full.
I had the binoculars on it, Craney, and it definitely did.
Oh, there you go. We had the instant replay.
Up they go, Creighton. Good mark.
That's
they
a
need a
great
bit
grab.
more bite from him, but he's in the wrong end of the ground. He's on a half-back flank, left half-back flank. Lee Creighton goes up the wing. They fly. Kennedy can't take the mark. Comes over the back to Fraser. Goes underground to Tenardi. Tenardi good enough to stay over the ball. He's tackled by Carboni. Gets it back to Lee. Lee there. Gets it on to Mateo. Mateo goes long to centre half forward. Patterson can't pick the footy. Oh, he does pick the footy up, but he's brought immediately to ground.
That's a good question for Derek Hall here. Tenardi's getting a lot of the football, but HBL are in front. Do you run a tag with Tenardi?
Well, they're not.
Thanks to the Bank of Queensland.
They're not hurting. He's not hurting you, Craney. So
that's
you
right.
don't. You just let him go. There's going to be another ball up just yet. I know it's not. There's a free kick, and it's going to Lee.
Or do you try and slow him down just a tad?
Maybe. Lee comes into the hot spot. They set themselves. They fly. Fenwick. Jonathan Fenwick with a beautiful intercept mark. Came over the back and took a one grabber and finds Saunders now in the corridor. Saunders, a good little pass outside of D50 to Blake Offer.
Tell you what, Jono Fenwick just might have surpassed his brother in the mark of the day. CPR Outdoors.
Ferguson takes the ball at half-back and drives it long. No one can mark. Good off the ground by Fraser Ward. Gives it to Templeton, who takes off again with that customary glide. He's had his second bounce, one way then the other. Gets the ball out there and finds Gualter. Gualter takes off immediately on his left side. Elects to come back inboard. Now drives it long to the hot spot. They fly. Ball comes to ground. Bowman reads it off hands. Gives a bit of a mongrel handball out to Mateo. Mateo good enough. Gives it back to Bowman. Use the foot. He does. Finds Creighton out on the wing. Creighton looking for someone to give it to. Short pass. Mateo, who's run hard. He's just right on the true wing now. Goes down the line. Good lead up there by McDonald.
Liam Crichton's getting a lot of the ball, but he's getting it deep in defence, isn't he? Or on the midfield. We'd rather see him get it up front.
McDonald comes in board and finds Perks. Still out on that far wing though. Perks goes long down to the pocket. Mateo's underneath it with Carboni. Mateo did well, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's earned a free kick for them trying to throw him out of the contest. And yes, he has. Carboni's been terrific today, but just infringed on that occasion. He's 50 metres out, Mateo. He's looking for options. Puts in a low, flat drop punt to the pocket. Well met by Tenardi. Picks it up.
Oh, I thought he took it out the back.
Trying to say to the umpire that it was taken over deliberately, and now it's holding the ball. What in the blazes?
Wow.
Alan, we need a replay on that one. No, play on now by hand. Anderson again, starting to really have an impact, and he gets it to Tartaglia. Don't mind this bloke either, Craney.
No, they've got some talent running around the place.
Tartaglia, he gave it into Westworth. Westworth back to Tartaglia, who's run on, and he goes long out to this members wing. They stand underneath it. No one can mark. Kemp gathers the ball well. Measured handball to Fraser. Over to Lee. Coming on the outside, Ganser fumbles what he should have picked up. He's taken off the ball. Umpire said without it, but I'm not quite sure that he...
Yeah, he let the tackle linger a bit there. Probably didn't need to do that.
I'm not sure Ganser disposed of it correctly, though.
No, he probably just threw it away, Darren, to tell you the truth. But...
And Meadmore gathers the ball on the wing, then comes into the corridor. Both sides wanting to do that. Patterson takes it. Left foot out on to the pocket to the lead in Kennedy, and that's really good work.
No, there's a free kick to Zach Piper for interference.
Okay.
Off the ball.
Off the ball. So HBL defending so well against this talented Busselton side. Comes out, Tartaglia takes the mark on the chest at half-back, comes back inside to Jonathan Fenwick. Fenwick looks to the corridor, coming at it was Fraser Ward. He's met solidly, and Busselton have the ball again. Creighton's kick smothered. Getting back on it is Lee. Flicks out a handball to Meadmore. Meadmore to Creighton. That was good work. Mateo takes off on his left foot to centre forward. Really well measured kick. And that's a lovely mark by Mitch Tenardi. Hopefully he hurts him this time, Craney.
Oh, look, I think so. Tell you what, it's just a great game of footy, isn't it? It's very quick. Totally opposite the one we called last week, Darren, where it was in amongst it, in tight. This one here is open, and if you're prepared to run, you're going to get the football.
Yeah, bigger ground too, but Tenardi dead in front. Going to kick from 48. Not one breath of breeze, Craney. A couple of white cockatoos cross by. Right on 50, let's fly.
Oh, umpire likes it.
Mitch Tenardi keeps his side in this contest, and on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, 4 goals, 1 at 25. That's HBL. leading Busselton at 2 goals, 6-18. It's a 7-point ball game.
You mentioned gut running, and that takes a lot of mental capacity to be able to do that when you're about to push your body past that limit where he thinks he's a little bit tired. But that was a fantastic kick. I thought right on his limit, but gee, he's got it. That's enough. You only have to get it across the line.
And those expert comments from our man Alan Crane, thanks to MGIB. Like a good neighbour, MGIB are always there.
So who's warming up for Health House?
I reckon everyone's pretty warm in this humidity.
I reckon you're right.
As we just had a KFC ball up, ching ching, and Saunders gets a handball away, but Fish intercepts, gives it to Fraser, the barrel-chested backman from Busselton. But we had a really Buckingham beef big moment, Craney.
I don't know. There's not much in this game of footy, is there? You know, you look across the scoreboard, and Busselton have had a lot of the play, but just haven't put it on the scoreboard. But there's still only a few points of difference. 7, I think.
Perks
Darren?
and Heenan go at it. Fish picks it up off the ground, but he's scaled, and the HBL player gets a free kick.
Oh, dear. It took me a while to get that, Darren, but there you go.
I thought it went straight through to Ian Healy for a moment. As Anderson goes to the half-forward flank, and Offer takes another good one-grab to mark. He goes long to full forward. Coming out to meet it, intercept is Bowman. Ball still in play. It's now gone across the line for a behind. And that's HBL's second blemish.
It is a little bit of the ball delivery into that forward line by both sides. Probably could just tidy that up a bit, and I think both coaches will tell them at half-time to give their forwards half a chance.
Yeah, as Parkinson brings the ball out of defence for the Magpies, and it's another defensive mark. Looking for options is the young player. He goes out to the wing. Mateo, who's worked very hard this quarter, was out of his stretch and right on his hammers, Jonathan Fenwick. Umpire says, I'll have him be a ball up just inside the boundary line, right on the far centre wing. Alan, so there'll be a ball up for KFC. Win big with KFC, Alan.
Absolutely. It's going to go around the grounds, but it hasn't changed much from Geograph Civil. It's still got Donnybrook one straight lead, Dunsborough zip.
It's one down by Perks, but he got over the shoulder of Heenan, so Heenan's going to take the free kick on the wing for HBL, and they go forward again. Anderson has it immediately. He cuts off the line and goes to the boundary line, floats one up to the half-forward flank. Fraser reads it best. Ball still goes over the back of his head. Getting over onto it is Westworth of HBL. Umpire said he was held without, and he's going to get a free kick. The young HBL player.
Yeah, he'll be looking inside. I don't think he's got the distance from here.
No, he's too far out to score. Goes inside, and that's a great pass find Saunders. Very, very tight angle. Hard up against the boundary line, about 35 metres out. Craney, right side for a left footer.
Yeah, look. As the siren goes.
A bit of spice to this one.
This
could be
adds a bit.
Buckingham big moment.
Absolutely.
Craney.
Or a peak performance from City and Regional Fuels.
So Saunders was sauntering back to his mark, and now he has to go for the drop punt. He's going to kick from about 35 on the tightest of angles. Right side for a left footer. Goes off his right boot.
A good chance.
Umpire likes it. Teammates like it. It's a six-pointer just after the half-time bell. They'll be strutting in, these HBL players. And on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, it'll be HBL 5-2-32 to Busselton 2-6-18.
That was a definite team leader lifter going into the half-time break for HBL. That was another pretty dogged quarter. The goals drew up a bit, but a very, very good contest going on here at Brunswick, and we'll be back shortly for the Hungry Hollow half-time break. Welcome back to Brunswick Oval. Thanks to the Hungry Hollow half-time break talk, where we find HBL 5 goals 2-32, lead Busselton 2 goals 6-18, and a very, very good game of footy. It was open. It was plenty of run going on. Macca, you were talking about the dominance in the ruck or around the contest.
Yeah, it's obviously Kennedy's been winning a lot of ruck knocks for Busselton, but HBL quick to get on that football using players like Tartaglia and Anderson especially, and just really being damaging at the contest. However, Mitch Tenardi has just been relentless in his run. He's also good around the contest, but the difference is that HBL are applying pressure at every opportunity, so Busselton do not get any easy takeaways. It's with HBL's second, third and fourth efforts, and when they get the ball, they are off to the races and really trying to catch Busselton unawares, and at the moment that's why they're in front of the scoreboard.
I think both coaches will be sitting in their change rooms, Macca, going, we need to deliver into our forward 50 better, because it's just they're doing very well around the ground. And I think Busselton had a heap inside 50s for the stats, but they didn't finish it off because they pump it in, which allows the defence to get back and cover. So I think even for the HBL with Humphreys, as you said, Anderson and Carboni doing magnificent work around the middle as a lot of them, but just that finish.
Yes, I think HBL could be, as they move forward, they really like to share the ball, and they do it well. They see someone in space and they're using it, but sometimes I think they could be overusing the ball a little bit. If they went a little more direct, they could be even further in front. Whereas the Magpies, they are being direct, but HBL are well onto it and covering all their main targets. Chinnery a couple of times has been in that wrestle, been penalised a couple of times, which is unfortunate for him. But Kennedy is coming out and making himself an option. And unfortunately, a couple of times he got on the lead and took a mark with free kicks given elsewhere. So game's still in the balance. We know Busselton are good enough, but we're really loving the endeavour of this HBL side.
It's a sort of game where it looks like it should be an 8 or 9 goal half-time thing, isn't it? Just the goals haven't been fluent.
Yes, no, they haven't. And if it wasn't for Mitch Tenardi in the Magpies camp and Johnny Meadmore, I think that HBL would probably be a little bit further in front. But you can just see these young blokes growing in stature for HBL, growing in stature as the game goes on. They have a real lot of belief in each other. They springboard really well out of their back line with guys like Walter, Carboni and McCulloch. And they're doing a good job.
I love the way they're playing with confidence too. They're not scared to go into the middle. If there's an option on, they'll go for that option. And I think both coaches have given the players a bit of a licence to do that. If it doesn't work, you go and fix it. Anyway, Macca, we're going to take a quick break. Thanks to Hungry Hollow. It's a great spot to sit and have a feed and a cordial, mate, I can tell you that. And we'll be back for the second half. Oval, thanks to KFC and our good mates at Dale Alcock Homes. This is the Hungry Hollow half-time break as Busselton are back out onto the field. We're still waiting for HBL to return to the field. As we see, HBL 5 goals, 2-32 to Busselton, 2 goals, 6-18. And just going through the goal kickers for HBL, Jared Humphreys has 2, 1 to Ferguson, 1 to Carboni and 1 to Saunders. And for the Magpies, 1 to Kennedy and 1 to Tenardi. In a game where it looks like there should be a lot of goals scored, there hasn't been too many scored goals, but you get the feeling this game could break open into a bit of a goal fest. The ball's moving enough if they get the forward entries right.
Yeah, Craney, Busso have already warmed up thanks to Half House, and HBL straight out onto the ground and into their positions. But they've made it very hard for Busselton to score, as we said, because of their pressure, but also their willingness to want to keep the team structure and behind the ball and hold that shape, and that does take energy, and you do need to be disciplined to do it. So it'll be a big test for HBL in this second half for these young players to see if they can continue to do that.
Yeah, look, it's going to be mentally testing too. I mean, there is a lot of young players out there, and that's the nature of the beast in South West Footy League nowadays. But it is very tough to keep that mental attitude up. The matchups for Southern Lock and Security, the ruckman, we talked about that, didn't we, for Hamish Ward for HBL and Kennedy for Busselton. Still 2 young players within their own right, but not a bad contest.
Yeah, no, Ward is really good, a great competitor, but he's just... Kennedy's just got a few issues on him. I've liked the way Kennedy goes forward and gives them option as well with the Magpies, but Kennedy probably winning that duel with the ruck knocks at the moment, but Ward wins the first knock of the day thanks to the half thanks to KFC, but Parkinson picks it up for Busselton. Kennedy gathers the footy, gives a handball back there to Ganser. Ganser tries to get away, gets a handball to Meadmore, gets it off the deck. Ganser has the ball,
Nicely
receives
worked
it from Parkinson, and then Fish has it, and he gets a kick off the side of the boot out of the pocket. Luck's a fortune. Fish can't take the mark. Chinnery comes out, toe pokes it, and now Meadmore has the ball. It's pretty hot in the kitchen at the moment, Alan, as we start this second half, and the ball is missed by Brodie Howell as Carboni slips over, gets up and shoots the ball back and finds Anderson.
That was a good one. It bounced back to your feet.
Yep.
It's good to see. Oh, this could be trouble, though.
Anderson's kick goes awry into the corridor. On the ground there was Tartaglia.
And he's the person we didn't mention in that half-time break there, Tartaglia.
Yeah.
He's been doing very well around and helping Carboni and Anderson.
He's very good in and under. Ball gathered by HBL. Umpire says holding the ball to McCulloch. He doesn't agree with it, but Tenardi's going to take the free, and it's a chance for his second.
Very rarely you do agree with anything against you.
So Tenardi dead in front, Ellen, and he's probably going to shoot from about 50 metres. Oh, no, just inside 50.
Yeah, right on his limit again, I think, but it was very good down this end.
Runs through the paint, shoots from 48, puts it up nice and high. It's a beautiful looking kick, and just what Busselton need to start this third quarter. And on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, HBL 5-2-32 to Busselton 3-6-24. That has been erased.
Yeah, thanks for that, Mitch, because I said you're right on your limit and you put that one through half goal post.
Yeah, you did.
You must have given me a wrong steer. You must have been a bit closer down. That was a great kick. Look, he has well and truly putting his hand up for our best on ground this afternoon because WA Carpet Supermarket, because he has been absolutely everywhere. That's his second goal for this afternoon. And when Busselton was struggling a bit, it was him that ran that. Remember that real big run down the outer side? He just kept his players in it.
He did.
And it was well moved by Busselton around that stoppage.
Yeah. Order today with KFC as we have another ball up from KFC. It's one down by Kennedy. Ganser gets a toe poke to Parkinson. Quick
again.
hands to Tenardi. He steams out of the middle. Can't quite get it to Creighton. Getting there. Creighton gets back on it. Brodie Howell lends support. Right foot snap. Out. Behind. I thought it looked like it might have somehow deviated and gone through. Brought back into play by HBL. Tartaglia takes a mark on his chest at half back. Goes back into the corridor as they love to do. It's not the best kick. Carboni can't take it. Patterson taken when he didn't have the football. And it's free kick. Advantage paid. Yes, played on immediately did Kobe Howell and kicked it to Brodie Howell, who took a mark out in front.
And Busselton are coming out meaning business, haven't they? We spoke about delivery into their forward line. And those couple of attempts, their delivery has definitely improved.
So about a 45-degree angle, right side for a right footer, and probably kicking from about 40. Sets it up, not the best-looking kick. It starts right and stays right.
I love that when they go up and everyone starts to lean as if it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, no breeze to work the swing into or anything.
Perfect conditions, perfect.
Ball comes back into play. Tartaglia in the back pocket takes a mark on the chest. Kobe Howell in attendance. Tartaglia plays on now, just comes up the line. Umpire said that he went over the mark, didn't stand or move before he was able to, and that's a 50-metre penalty. Harsh. Plays on now, does Tartaglia. Gets it up to the wing, drives it into centre forward, and that's a very, very good mark on the lead to Boucher. Boucher goes to Humphreys, but chipping it in front there beautifully was the Busselton player. Gets it to Fraser. Fraser back to Brodie Howell. Comes back to Fraser by hand. Kobe Howell looking in the pocket. They come at it. Creighton. Good strong mark out in front there. Liam Creighton plays on now. Right foot, long to the square. It's not on line. Chinnery there on the chest. Handballs to Parkinson in the square, and very unselfish play, and put that through on his right foot did Parkinson, and Busselton have two in a row. So on that Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, HBL 5-2-32.
How good was that by the big man, Chinnery? Could have went back and slotted in himself, but seeing Parkinson in the goal square, quick as a flash over the top, and Data turned a goal into an absolute certainty, and they are looking very, very good, the Magpies. They've sorted their few little issues they had out. Matt Jamison, actually both these coaches are very good coaches, so there's a bit of a coaching duel going on here too. Don't worry about that, Darren.
Yeah, so Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, 5-2-32 to 4-8-32. She's all back where we started, Craney, and yes, though Busselton are really coming out
They've
in
upped
full
the
force.
ante.
They've lifted their tempo. You are correct. Win big for KFC with another ball up. One down by Kennedy. Kennedy gets his own ball. And Mitch Tenardi, he's going to try and lead this side to victory as he short passes into Crichton. Comes out and takes a diving mark on his chest. Starting to be a little bit of a factor this last few minutes, Crichton.
Yeah, and so is Tenardi. Look, he's probably got 9 Hayward votes. I can only pick up 3, but gee, he's had a lot of the football this afternoon. And that there is nothing a backman can do about that when a bloke of that talent comes out and hits a forward on the chest like that.
Not only does he look like he's going to win the rug from WA Carpet Supermarket, Craney, I reckon he's already steam cleaned it. Oh, Mitch Tenardi. Anyway, dead in front, Liam Crichton. He's going to kick from just inside 50, puts it up nice and high. I think he started it right and it's hit the woodwork. Rightio. So,
well, HBL need to find something here because it's been all Busselton after that half-time break.
This is the first time Busselton have hit the lead today. Ball comes back into play. Tenardi gets a fist on it, goes over the back of the pack. Ganza pushes the ball to his advantage, then tries to get it back to Kemp. Humphreys comes into place. Saunders can't get the footy. Parkinson does for the Magpies. He's playing well as well. Fraser directing traffic, then goes with the right foot to centre half forward. Coming back is Ferguson with the flight and takes a good mark on his chest. Ferguson now brings it down this member's wing and a really good lead by Westworth on the chest at half forward. Goes up and finds a teammate in Fraser Ward. He handballs to no one in particular, puts Saunders under the pump. All sorts of issues.
He ran into a bit of trouble then because he had all the momentum going forward. And when he looked up, all he could see was the black and white jumpers of Busselton, so he had to turn back in.
So there will be a ball up at half forward for the Maggies, for the Lions. Up they go. One taken out of the ruck by Kennedy, gets it off to Tenardi. Tenardi dumped after he got rid of it. Umpire says play on and off the toe of Templeton. Anderson, it rolls over. Let's see how HBL respond here now, Craney, because it's the first time they've really been pressured in this game.
Absolutely. For the season, to tell you the truth.
Ball comes back into play thanks to Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes. Kennedy wins it down. Parkinson overruns it. Tartaglia, handball goes awry. Mitch Tenardi, his kick smothered. Getting back is Westworth. Parkinson with him and just bungles him over the line. Not much of Westworth and Parkinson.
Parkinson did that pretty well. That would have been easy to give away a free kick, but he didn't.
So another throw in thanks to Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes. Ball one down by Ward this time, and Tenardi brought to ground by Tartaglia, and it'll be a ball up.
Well, those two are going head-to-head thanks to Southern Lock and Security, Tenardi and Tartaglia.
Ball up on a half forward for the Lions. Umpires said that Kennedy's infringed in the ruck and there's going to be a free kick to Ward. And I would tend to agree with him there. He did try to pull him out the way. Ward goes to the hot spot. Great lead and mark by Heenan.
Gee, that was a good kick by the big fella. He's been pretty workmanlike all afternoon, hasn't he? And a nice lead, as you said, by him, but you still got to hit that target. And he spotted him up very nicely as he pops it over the top.
Heenan just chips over to Westworth. So Westworth will probably be about 30 metres out, right side for a left footer, 45-degree angle, kicking to the Peters Ice Creamery end.
Well, you said there wasn't much of Wentworth, and he snuck in there. No one's seen him sneak in there, Darren. He just topped in the hole very nicely. So it'd be great for the young fella if he could pop this one through.
That number 30 well and truly taking up all of his back, Alan. In he comes, Westworth. Let's fly on his left foot, and the ball swings away, doesn't make the distance, thumped through, and HBL only get a behind. Fraser to bring the ball back into the play for the Magpies. Short pass finds Lee. Still inside D50, Lee plays on. Fraser's run out. Good work by him. Goes further up to half-back, through the hands of Ganser. Ferguson for HBL retrieves the football and spots up a teammate in Boucher. Boucher goes to the pocket, and all on his own is Saunders. Saunders on an extremely tight angle, right side for a left footer, be about 30 metres out. Have a shot for goal.
And credit to HBL, they're under the pump early, but they've lifted again, and you need to. If a side lifts and says you need throw the challenge at you, you need to be able to do it.
He kicked a harder one than this on the siren, Craney. Here he comes. Use his right boot. This time it's gone out on the full. He's used up all his miracle goals today. And the ball will be brought back into play by Bowman, who's been reasonably solid back there for the Magpies.
It doesn't get any tighter than this, does it, Aaron? 33 points apiece.
That's right. Ball comes back into play. Lee used his body well.
Body
Gets
and
a
experience.
Handball away. Here comes Clark. Got a handball for the Magpies. Parkinson been working feverishly all game. Puts in an inside out torpedo. Kennedy can't mark it. It's up on the wing now on the members' side. We've gone 11 minutes in this quarter. Umpires found an infringement. Ball going to HBL. No. Tartaglia, yes. He was infringed in the contest. Right on the wing here. Short pass. Saunders. Saunders takes mark, plays on. Tenardi pulls him to ground as he kicks it. Kicks off the side. Kennedy working really well as Kennedy. Ball came down to Fraser Ward on his left foot, and Kemp intercepts and takes a mark just inside D50 for the Maggies. He goes out, he kicks off the side a little to centre half-back. Ganser spoils Humphries. That's good work by both players. Ganser gets up, sort of throws the ball out. Humphries using his bulk, experience and skill. Peeling for a free kick. Ganser has the ball off the deck now. Fraser comes to lend support. Parkinson hard up against the boundary line. Stops, props, goes by hand to Williams, who's come to lend support, but the ball's out of play. Williams keeps running to the Harvey Norman interchange bench, and there will be a ball in for Dale Elcock.
Absolutely loving the fact that these players are not prepared just to give the footy away. They hold it until they've got an option. If they haven't, same happened to Parkinson just then.
One down by Kennedy of the Magpies, gets it out to Parkinson. This time we'll be holding the ball. He went to kick it, chose not to, tried to get away, and then tackled. Tartaglia. Umpire said 50 metres.
Oh.
Did he not stand? Did he show a little bit of dissent? Or
tight games, you need to hold your discipline. You can always say, but what? But the umpires don't do them for nothing.
Yeah. So 45 degrees, 60 metres out. Short pass, Humphries intercepted by Fraser. Threw out the big fist. Picked up by Anderson. He's got around three. Bounce it, tackle his bounce. That's holding the ball. And this game's gone up again. Cranius Parkinson wins the ball back for the Magpies. Goes to half forward, they fly. The big fella there in McDonald can't get the mark, but gets off the ground to Mitch Tenardi. Looking for Chenery, finds him. Chenery takes the mark, plays on left foot, bang, goal.
Take a breath, but you are exactly right. This game has lifted in intensity all over the ground. And Busselton come out after half-time and they set a higher level. And HBL, we wondered whether they could come up to, they did. And then Bustle just run that down. Chinnery, that's a pretty good reward for the big fella down there. Yep. As I said, if you get it into him, he can become a very big handful and a great game of footy.
14 minutes ticked over in this third quarter. HBL 5-3-33 now trailing Busselton 5-9-39 thanks to Southwest Isuzu. So it's 6 points the difference, Alan. The game's on a knife edge. HBL have really controlled the game for most of the day, but Busselton using all their experience now. And
Busselton this quarter have been
ascendancy.
Absolutely sensational. They've come out with a whole new belief, Busselton.
Parkinson really joining in the fun with Tenardi now, as there's a ball up for KFC that's one down by Ward. Anderson Strano head over the footy, gets it to Ward, who fires it to centre half forward. No one can take the mark. Getting after it is Haywood. HBL winning the footy through Manuel. Manuel gets up and the young fella standing his ground with the old-timer Fraser. But good work by the youngster, and the ball's over the line. Be a
throw in for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes on half forward for the Lions. Ball comes back into play. One down by Kennedy, got a little clip from Ward at the same time. Saunders emerges with the footy, handballs, but only as far as Parkinson. His kick too is also partly smothered, but coming away with the ball was Kobe Howe. Gets Kanser on the chest, plays on by hand to Parkinson.
Well run.
Parkinson's length support and goes to centre half forward. Magpies looking a much better outfit now. Chinnery brought the ball to ground. Picked up by Creighton, snaps on the right boot. It's another one to the Magpies.
And I tell you what, a fairly handy goal, that one too, Macca.
Oh, nice. That's a real contender, mate, for the Western All Pet Services goal of the day.
Gee, I tell you what, this is a whole new look Busselton side. This is getting back to what we were expecting. We're just watching the replay as we do that. Crichton, absolutely sensational out the back. But as I said, you get it in forward to Chinnery. He's a handful. He'll bring it to ground or he'll take the mark. And that's exactly what Busselton have done. They've improved their forward entries and the results have come. And we did say goals were hard to get, and I think they'd open up. Well, they have opened up.
Yep. Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, HBL 5-3-33. Busselton now 6-9-45. They've opened up with a 12-point lead, Alan.
Yeah, looking for the Hemp Brothers rising star too, Macca. There's quite a few of them starting to put their hand up.
HBL have got a few of those rising stars getting around, but they're behind on the scoreboard now as Kennedy wins the ball down to Parkinson. He's brought to ground heavily by Saunders.
Parkinson is the one who's lifted in this quarter. He's got a lot of the footy. He's been good up till half time, but he's lifted it up a level.
The umpires just balled it up for KFC, and bringing the ball out was Piper by foot. It's intercepted by the Magpies again. Kennedy brought to ground. He's battling really hard, Craney, the big man.
He's that, and Ty Anderson's gone missing a little bit.
Yes, he has. Busselton have done some work on him. One down by Kennedy. Parkinson taps it to Tenardi. Tenardi to his advantage. Got Tartaglia right with him for company. Ball still in dispute. Umpires found a free kick, and it's going the Magpies' way. Tenardi being held with it. Oh, no. It's gone to Kobe Howe, who's gone to Lee. Brody Howe to Lee. Back now to Kobe Howe, who goes high to the square. Creighton gets underneath it. There's about 6 HBL players there as Matthew Fenwick, the 150 gamer, brings it out to the pocket and off it. Takes another good mark.
You just need to go regain a bit of composure, HBL. As I said, they're a young side. First time they've had a few very good victories. First time they've really been challenged.
He's at left half back. He brings the ball long down the line. They fly. Oh!
Gee, I think we'll put that one down.
From Kemp, and that is a big chance for the CPR Outdoor Centre mark of the day.
Oh, mate, I'll put a big circle around that.
Goes back by foot there to young Haywood, who had a great first half. Now we know his name and he's wearing the right jumper, but only went as far as Piper. Took the mark on the wing for HBL, goes inside to Carboni, who's been paid the mark. Oh, Carboni gets up quickly, just gets rid of Kobe Howe, and then shows him the football. Carboni goes long to centre forward looking for Heenan. It's over his head. Bowman backs up. Gives a handball away to Williams. Williams by hand out to Haywood. Haywood goes up the wing. Here comes Brody Howe, but he's got company there. The players are really throwing him in left, right and centre. Tenardi got it back to Lee.
Look at the numbers
back
behind
to
the ball.
Kobe Howe. Meadmore, kick around the corner. Parkinson takes on Gwalter. Gwalter forces it to be dispossessed. Jonathan Fenwick out to Strano. HBL back in control of the footy. Carboni, left foot. Piper on the chest. And just behind half forward now. Just behind left half forward. He goes long on the right boot. Humphries in best position.
Great
takes
kick.
the mark. Is this the response we've been waiting for HBL?
Yeah, they just need to gather a bit, didn't they? Because Busselton were getting numbers around the ball, and you know when Busselton were in good form because they line up behind and they almost rugby scrum it out. But HBL, that was a very good kick into Humphries.
Wonderful observations from our man Alan Crane, thanks to MGIB. MGIB, like a good neighbour, they're always there. But Humphries, 45-degree angle, is going to shoot from about 35, a right side for a right footer. His side desperately needs him to kick this one to stem the tide. In he comes, looking for his third. Right foot, straight as an arrow. And Humphries delivers. And over here, Craney on just inside the centre square, we've got a bit of an issue with Parkinson.
Yeah, I think he's cramped up, but I wouldn't be surprised. He's done a fair bit of running. It looks like a cramp to me there. But that was a great reply for HBL, and that's what we're all interested to see, how they're going to... This Magpies unit, they're grand finalists last year, so they've got a lot of experience with them. How the young HBL side are going to approach when somebody really challenges them. So, great response.
It is, and it keeps them within touch by 6 points, because on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, HBL 6-3-39, Busselton 6-9-45. It is game on, and that's what we like here at the Brunswick Showgrounds, Craig.
Garage Doors Southwest conditions report, absolutely perfect.
Oh, it is. The flags are limp. Ball comes out thanks to Anderson, drives it into the forward 54 HBL as young Manuel is dispossessed. Ball still in dispute. Umpires found a free.
And he was slung, I think. You'll find.
And young Manuel's going to have... He's earned a shot on goal, but he's got someone spare in the pocket. Finds him. Very quick thinking. Played on immediately. Very, very tight angle. It's about 15 metres out, but it's Blake Offer on his left side.
If anyone was going to have it, though, this gentleman here, he is very skillful. Yet to kick a goal this afternoon so far, a bit unlike him. He's been in the goal kickers for the first few weeks.
He's lined up, gone on the right boot. I reckon it's gone right across the face. It has, and it's out on the full. He didn't even try and bend it, Crane.
No, you could see the look on Blake's face as soon as that connected with his foot.
Might have tried a banana bit. I might have tried a boonana if it was me.
A boonana.
Bowman brings the ball back into play. Ball's won there by Busselton. Ganser gets it to Tenardi. He has just been relentless with his run. Oh, Fish has given one and knocked one down in the play, but the umpire says play on as Tenardi has a bounce. Goes long to full forward.
Wow, that's
standing underneath it is Kennedy. Geez, Fish looked like he gave one to a player there and knocked him over. It might have been a little bit of an Academy Award, possibly.
Yeah, Tenardi, though, you can't speak highly enough of him, can you? He's just running power, and his ability to link up everybody going along the track. I know we're starting to sound like a broken record, but that's how good he is.
Kennedy comes in, shot from goal, dead in front, 30 metres out, puts it through for his second, the big ruckman, and he is having a really good day.
How quick do things change? To HBL have a shot for goal, put it out of bounds on the full, and blink of an eye, it's down there, and Kennedy puts his second for the afternoon through, and as you said, he's a ruckman that's not afraid to push forward, and once they push forward, they're big fellas. They don't get any smaller, Darren.
That's the 12-point play, Craney.
Absolutely is.
23 minutes ticked over in this third quarter. Busselton back out to a 12-point lead on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
So the challenge has been thrown down to HBL again, and it's going to continue to be thrown down all afternoon, so it's going to test them.
KFC is the big win, Cranies. We're back in the middle for another KFC ball up. Can't wait to see how HBL respond to these. These young kids have been terrific today. Kennedy gets up, taps it over the shoulder of Ward, and Ward's going to win a free kick.
That's been a good matchup for Southern Lock and Security. I've enjoyed that ruck duel.
It's been a beauty. Ward handballs on to Jonathan Fenwick, goes to full forward, can't find Humphreys, offers there, grabs it clean, he goes to Carboni, his handball intercepted, picked up by Kobe Hale. Fraser's been really good today, the back pocketer, gets it to Tenardi, goes across the line, Carboni's there, keeps it in play, dishes it back only as far as Tenardi. Fish has it, does a circle, then smothered. It is hot in the kitchen as HBL try to stay in this game. Saunders spots up Boucher. He's taken the mark and played on. Oh, umpire's found a 50-metre penalty, has he? Trying to work out what's going on.
Looks like.
Yes, it is.
While we do that, I'll just go around the grounds for civil, Darren. And your boys aren't doing that well out of Boyne. I can tell you, Donnybrook 11-9, 75 lead. Dunsborough 1 goal, 1-7 as they pop through the goal for HBL.
Billy Boucher gets his first. A little bit of a gimme. No one was allowed to stand on the mark, or no one bothered to stand on the mark. And
everyone headed straight back to the middle, Darren.
That keeps them right in the game, Alan. It's 7-3-45. Busselton 7-9-51. They are holding tight, the HBL.
Yeah, and we talk about the coaches of the Bank of Queensland, Bunbury, but they are working these boards brilliantly down here. It's great to see two good coaches go head-to-head. We love the contests on the field, but there's a lot of moves and thoughts put in on the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. But I reckon the biggest move has been just asking their midfielders just to back themselves in on both sides.
Without a doubt.
Yep.
Have a crack at it.
Up they go. Kennedy wins this one down. Taken by Anderson. Tumbles one forward on the right boot. Coming out to meet the ball was Manuel.
Well read by
Handballed
Meadmore.
only as far as Meadmore. Meadmore throws it on the right boot, tumbles it forward, and it rolls out in front of their Harvey Norman interchange bench there.
You cannot buy experience, can you?
No.
When you get a player, he just read that like a book.
He's been good today, Meadmore. He was important early when the pressure was on Busselton too.
And he's he's been around for a long time, won flags, and you can see why.
Kennedy gets the ball down, taken by HBLs. They bring the ball down the line, but out of play on the full, and Meadmore will bring it back in.
Good on you, Johnny, stepping up when we're talking about you. He's a great bloke as well.
Yep. We're at the showgrounds. Craney and the remnants of the dung is keeping the flies around as they go to centre half forward. Good intercept mark. Offer has the football for HBL. Goes long down the wing. It's just inside the boundary line. Fish and Meadmore see the ball over the line. Poor old Manuel didn't have much chance.
Tell you what, I'm enjoying this contest.
This is great.
Very, very entertaining.
It's absorbing, Craney. They're so fast, and at the same time, there's so much pressure. It's like you say, it's entertaining. Kennedy wins this one down.
Well, he's not going anywhere.
Through his Carboni. He's another contender for the WA Carpet Supermarket Player of the Day.
What a quarter of footy.
There is a three-quarter time on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. It's HBL 7-3-45, Busselton 7-9-51. They lead by 6 points. Craney, this one's going to go down to the wire down here at the Brunswick Showgrounds.
It is all set for a fantastic last quarter. We've been blessed to sit here and watch those three very, very good quarters of Southwest Football League, and I think it'll continue after the break. Welcome back to SEN Spirit's coverage of the Southwest Football League for the last quarter of the match between Busselton and HBL, a game that has just about had everything in the first three quarters, but Busselton hold a very slender lead, 7 goals, 9-51 to 7-3-45. A very good quarter by the Magpies. They found a bit of form, and when the Magpies start to find form, they start to get lineups behind the ball. They run through it well. Tenardi and Parkinson, they were absolutely everywhere in that quarter, and we sort of wondered whether HBL, how they were going to go. They're a young side. They were challenged. Well, I'll tell you how they went, Macca, very, very well, because they fought their way back.
Absolutely they did, Craney, and if they continue that and if they can get back to holding their shape like they did in the first half, making it hard for Busselton to get the ball forward, this game will go down to the wire. And comeback footy can be very taxing, Craney, and the Magpies may have used up a fair bit of energy getting this 6-point lead coming from behind.
Well, I think it's not only going to be taxing physically, but it's going to be taxing mentally.
Yeah.
Because the game's been flat out from the start. From the very first bounce when Ty Anderson grabbed that ball from the back, the game has been absolutely red hot. Both the coaches, I was watching them come off the ground, thanks to the Bank of Queensland, Bunbury, they were really getting into their players and asking them for that little bit special. This 4 points is going to be absolutely huge.
It is. And Busselton really need to get their season rolling, and HBL, if they can get up here, really gives them a mountain of confidence going forward. These young bucks have really shown some maturity. The injection of Blake Offer and a couple of others, a bit of experience, has really turned this Lions outfit into quite a good one.
Just about ready to start the last and final quarter on SEN Spirit 621. This is Darren McDonald.
The umpire throws the ball in the air thanks to KFC. Kennedy wins down to Tenardi. He's tackled immediately. And Parkinson picks up the ball that's spilled out to the Jackrabbit, but he's brought down his Patterson. And
that's a good tackle.
Really good work by Matthew Fenwick, the 150 gamer. Gets it out there to Ferguson at halfback. He elects to play on now. Goes with the right foot in a short pass. Tried to hit Heenan. Ball fell in front of him. Picked up by Tartaglia, goes back by hand to Jonathan Fenwick. He tumbles it forward. Fraser right with his opponent, and picked up by Hayward as he thumps it back forward, but chipping in and taking a good mark is Martelli for the Lions. Plays on now down the wing, goes long and high. They stand underneath. Well done there to the Busselton player. But what's happening is a 50 metre saying that he was dealt with unfairly as he went down.
Not quite sure what happened then.
And it's Williams with the football. And he plays on now, just behind centre wing on the far side. By hand to Fraser. He's been good today, Craney.
Been
Fraser.
very, very good.
Drives it inside with a beautiful pass to Brodie Howell on the chest. He now sets himself 48 metres, drives it inside Creighton, gets up high as he often does, gets the ball by hand to Chinnery. Chinnery passes back to Creighton, but illegally, and that's holding the ball.
Best thing about Fraser is very reliant, but he uses the ball so well. He seems to have a lot of time when he wants to get rid of it.
He knows how to get in the right spots, and there's a short pass. Taglia takes it still
he
inside.
Just got there too.
Still inside D50, like this bloke's game. Alan?
Yeah, well, they've been going head-to-head, so...
Yep. Umpires said 50 metres. Not quite sure what, but you got it. Oh, Lee's not liking it. And there'll be 50 metres back here just...
We talk about the mental side. That all plays a part in it when you're weary.
So he's in the centre circle. He's chipped it up and found Offer. Offer can't take it. Gets it by hand to Saunders. Saunders finds a little bit hot to handle. Gets it picked up. Goes out wide. Finds Ferguson, who takes a diving mark at half forward. Gets up immediately and goes long with a beautiful looking drop punt. Over the back, Humphreys can't mark. Fraser has the footy again. Sizes up his options and puts out a short pass to find Kobe Howell.
You want to be careful you don't get lost in that far side with HBL.
Yep.
They have got a couple of power forwards. Give them a chance, and it doesn't give Busselton a chance to push back in.
Howell goes up to Fraser. He gathers just inside the boundary. Pulled over, and there will be a throw in. Just on
the crowd are invested in this, aren't they?
Absolutely, just on the edge of the 50. Is it a throw in?
Yes.
Yes, it is. No, well inside the 50. It's about 40 metres around from HBL goal. Ball one down by Kennedy. Picked up by Anderson. Ducks and dives as he's done all day. Tried to get the ball in there to Boucher. He fights for it. They emerge. Picked up by Fenwick, and he's kicked a beauty.
I tell you what, take your hat off to Boucher there too. Fenwick, it's an absolute ripper of a goal, but it was Billy Boucher that he fought in amongst three Busselton players and managed to dish the handball out. We just watched the replay as it goes in. He worked very hard in amongst the crowd of Busselton players and then managed to get the handball out. The handball faded on. So well played by HBL. Game on, Darren.
Absolutely. Craney telling us how this game's being played thanks to MGIB.
Okay, it's quick, it's fast, it's very entertaining.
Thanks to MGIB, like a good neighbour. MGIB, always there. We're back to the middle for KFC, sort of. Players set up, ready to go. And on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, Craney, it's 51 apiece.
Thanks to City and Regional Fuels, Darren.
Do not go anywhere. If you're at the ground, do not go anywhere. If you're at home watching this on the live stream, do not move. And let's pray internet doesn't give over. Parkinson tackles, but Carboni has the football for HBL. Gets it forward to Offer. He meets the ball well and takes a hit back to Carboni by hand. He got a little bit of support as well from Piper. Now Carboni on the left foot. That's a great pass. And he found Boucher. Boucher then spears the ball forward. Ball's not marked. Manuel going at the football, but he's got a bit of come. Pushed in the back as he went for the footy, and the umpire said
picked that up.
So
well, umpire Darren McDonald.
Yes, so Manuel, it was pretty undisciplined act, to be honest, by, I think it's Fish.
And that's what we keep. That'll come in. That's tired. As you start to get weary.
Yeah, it is Fish. Fish tried to be a bit slippery there, didn't quite work. But anyway, around comes Manuel, goes into the hot spot. Pack brings it to ground. It's still in dispute. On the right, on the left boot, around the corner.
That's very nonchalant, wasn't it?
Yep.
Just put it on the boot.
I think it might be out on the full.
It is, but it was very calm and collective.
And Parkinson has the football for the Magpies. Brings it back into play. Short pass looking for Meadmore. He's got a couple to contend with in Templeton and co. And there'll be just a throw in on that half-back flank for the Magpies. That member side right in front of the Magpies Harvey Norman interchange bench. Craney?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be sitting there. You'd want to be out, wouldn't you?
Yep. Dale, Alcock, Southwest Homes, ball in. Parkinson fighting for it. Umpires found a free kick high on young Saunders. Has a go, doesn't he? Doesn't mind getting down and dirty, this young bloke. Plays on now, hooks it into the pocket cleverly, but the mark could not be taken there by Offa. He goes back after umpire, blowing his whistle again.
Not sure where he meant that pass, but if he did, we're going to give it to him because that was a great pass.
Anyway, the free kick in the back pocket.
Might be the pass of the day by Bunbury Mower Service.
Going to young Kemp, who started this game very, very well. Lucas Kemp goes out to Parkinson, who's a little bit wider in the pocket. Meadmore goes in with courage and hardness and toughness.
It's out on the full, actually. It's been unlucky.
Out on the full.
Yeah, come off Meadmore's boot.
From his boot. Jeez, I thought there might have been everyone's shoe in that. Anyway, brought him back into play by Templeton, but he's trying to hit Offa as a mongrel kick, and it goes out of bounds in the back pocket. There's a bit of a stalemate, Craney.
Yeah, look, there's pressure building, isn't it? As players are getting tired, both physically and mentally, it gets harder and harder. But, gee, I tell you what, it's intense.
No one's running hot for Hearthouse, Craney, because there's a stalemate in this pocket. Up they go. Kennedy gets the football down to Fraser, tries to barrel his way through the big barrel-chested back pocket. And we're waiting for a Buckingham beef big moment, Craney.
Well, this is where you've got to be very careful of the out because it could springboard on you very, very quickly.
One down by Ward, back to Ganza, takes it cleanly, goes out of defence with his left foot, got it to Kobe Howe, onto Fraser by hand. They move it quickly now, the Magpies. Ball comes back to Ganza and he's tackled. Probably overused it then, the Pies, instead of getting it on the boot. They fight for it at centre-half back. And
it's a game of inches, our great game, isn't it? That ball had gone one way, it could have released both ways.
So, what's the umpire found? Bit of a high tackle, and Patterson comes up with the football at centre-half back for the Maggies. Gives it off to a teammate in Tenardi. Tenardi comes to half forward. Parkinson. I tell you what, he's taken a leaf out of Tenardi's book with his run. Parkinson at half forward, looks for options, now goes by hand to Meadmore. Meadmore goes one way, then the other, floats it up on the left foot to the hot spot. They sit under it. Umpires found a free, saying that Chinnery was holding his opponent out of it in, is it Gualter? Maybe McCullough. And he comes up and finds Carboni just on the edge of D50. Young fella's cramping up there.
Yeah.
It's been pretty humid. Ball comes out. Carboni finds Offa just on the wing. Offa goes back into the corridor. That's a good kick to Ward. Feigns one handball, then the other. Now, umpire said 50 because the player moved before he said play on. Geez, that's a tough rule.
Well,
he's moving quickly. Ward goes long to the pocket looking for Humphreys. He flies.
No, umpire will bring that back.
Okay.
Umpire will bring the big fella had a bit of a roll on there, didn't he?
It's like he's going downhill.
Yeah. His eyes lit up. It is a tough rule. I don't particularly like that stand rule. You're not hiding to nothing, aren't you?
Yeah. And you're waiting for, one umpire might blow the whistle quicker than another. You haven't got a hope in Hades.
And if you don't go the particular time your player gets away, you get into strife.
He's not bringing it back. It's Humphreys.
Oh, it's Humphreys' mark.
With the football.
I thought I heard a whistle. I apologise.
So he's on a fairly tight angle, but he's only about 15 out. He's gone back longer than Dennis Lilly, but he's lining up for his fourth, never the left, right side for a left footer. In he comes, right boot, stabs at it. Umpire just confirms that that's a goal. He's kicked 4, and suddenly they've regained the lead. Craney, these young Lions are looking fantastic. These Cubs are maturing.
They are at that, and I've got to apologise to everyone. I thought I heard a whistle and they were bringing the ball back, but they didn't. It was a terrific mark at the end by Humphreys. Yeah, you're right. They've been challenged,
Yep.
and now the challenge goes the other way. So it just goes in ebbs and flows, hasn't it? That's been the intensity of this game.
It's been a fantastic game to watch because both sides have played the ball and backed in their own system.
Well, I think that's the key.
And it's almost like, I forgot to say this at half time, but it's almost like HBL have out Busselton on occasions today.
It is.
Yeah.
And just when you thought Busselton getting on top with those numbers behind the ball, HBL fought back.
It's 11 minutes into this fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere. And on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, it's 57 HBL to 51 Magpies. We've got a KFC centre bounce. Up they go. This one's one down by Kennedy. Carboni in the clinches. Comes back to Tenardi. Tenardi goes long to full forward looking for Creighton. He stands in front. He stands and takes the delivery, gets the ball. They jump on him. Geez, I'd hate to be Liam Creighton because you just can't get a free kick.
I know, Crichton, though. If he does hit, how quick is he to hit the deck after the footy?
He's very good on the rebound. Chinnery takes it out of the ruck. Kick smothered. Ploughing through there was Martelli for the Lions.
Gee, talk about pressure in that little huddle.
There's going to be a ball up 40 metres out, dead in front of the Magpies' goal. Up they go. Chinnery taps it down to no one in particular. Carboni got the ball out of defence for the Lions. Fish takes them on, gets a handball away. No, the umpire didn't see the little fist. And Ferguson has the ball at half back on the members' side for the Lions. Ferguson puts in a short pass to Ward, who's been really good today as
that's been
Hamish
a great
Ward.
Southern Lachlan safe matchup, hasn't it? Ward and Kennedy.
And
they've both put their hand up for it.
Offa has the ball on the wing again, the big centre half forward. Looking for somewhere to go. He goes long now to centre half forward where he would normally be. Fraser makes the contest. Lee gets the ball off the ground, tackled immediately. This is ferocious in the clinches. Parkinson has it, comes out with it, taken down by the Lions. They really want this 4 points at home, and suddenly Busselton are desperate and scrambling, but these Lions are holding strong.
How good was that in there? No one give an inch.
13 minutes gone. Ball up at half back for the Magpies. Kennedy, ball's knocked out of his hand by Lee. Players lay on the ground and precious seconds tick by. Ball to go up again at half-back. Ward got a big fist to it. Comes out to Lee, however. Goes long to the wing. Kemp comes out. Two players thwart his efforts to mark it. And it's over the line. We'll have a Dale Alcock Southwest throw in right on centre wing here, right in front of the social rooms here at the Brunswick Showgrounds. Here we come. Suddenly there's a lull over the ground, Craney. And Kennedy wins it down. Saunders takes the football.
That was well done. Well,
got it
good
out
release.
to Piper. Piper to centre forward, and on the lead there was Boucher. Couldn't quite take the mark. Gets the ball back. Found Fraser Ward, who chips it into centre forward, but it's taken by Williams of the Magpies. He's got players on the outlet in Parkinson. Takes the mark. He looks further afield. He's got rid of the football, and something happened once he's gone rid of it, and he's pulled up lame, Craney, too.
He has. I don't know whether that looked a bit worse than cramp. There's another Busselton player in the middle that's struggling a little bit too.
Meadmore has a footy, finds Tenardi, still just on the centre wing. He gets up. Yeah, Parkinson's in a fair bit of difficulty.
That doesn't look good at all, the way he threw his mouth guard out there.
Tenardi goes right to the centre circle and finds Williams. Williams goes long on his left boot. Creighton comes out and takes a mark on the chest. He's within range. He was going to play on his
go back and
have a shot. He'll have a shot from 45, right side for a right footer, and it's also a 45-degree angle. Let's see what we can do here. This game is on a knife's edge. 6 points the difference in favour of the Lions. They've been so brave today. The Magpies, both sides. In comes Creighton, taking his time. Gets through the paint. Let's fly from 45. It's not a bad-looking drop.
I think it's there.
I think he's home. Liam Creighton gets his second, and what a time to get it. And suddenly we're all tied up again on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. HBL 9-3-57. Busselton 8-9-57. Craney, hang on to your hat.
Wow, what a game of footy. That is absolutely beautiful. And how good was Crichton then? That was an enormous amount of pressure. He had a lot of people looking at him, and he just slotted that one through for his second goal, actually, Macca.
Yes, that's right.
And, gee, I tell you what, both these sides, a credit to their coaching staff and themselves, because this has been a ripper, absolute ripper.
We have had an exhibition here at the showgrounds today, Craney.
Yeah, that's exactly
right. Absolutely.
And we've still got a bit to go yet.
Oh, yeah, we've only gone 16 minutes in this quarter. Up they go. One down by Kennedy with the big fist. Getting back on it is Saunders. He's been really good all day. His kick smothered by Lee. They come up with the football now as Piper gets a handball away. That's good work by him. Saunders comes in, hits the pack with speed, comes up on the left foot and drives it to half forward. Ball bounces awkwardly for all there. Picked up in there by Manuel, goes inside. Ball can't be taken. Bowman spoiled it. Picked up now by Heenan of the Lions. Goes back, finds Templeton. He dodges, sells some candy, floats it up to the square. Williams gets a fingernail on it, and suddenly that's how much the Lions lead by one behind.
Might be a handy point, you think, Macca?
Oh, well and truly.
If they need to lock it in here, the Lions.
Big Bowman to fire the ball back in. Here he comes. He's going to go for distance, Alan. Bang out to this member's side, trying to get it as far as we in. Creighton can't take the mark. Ball comes to the ground. Here's Anderson. Gets the ball by hand out to Gualter. Gualter goes to the hot spot. They fly. Oh, what a great mark there to Williams. He's having a good last term. Picks up now and takes off. Left foot, worm burner into Ganser. Can't take the mark. Gets it off the ground as Ganser. Turns. Handballs to a teammate under pressure. No one's there to support. Umpire says free kick. That was very, very clever play there by Kobe Howe.
He did well, didn't he?
He needs to use it well, Craney. He chips it up to centre forward. Kennedy comes in, can't mark. Bowman's on the ground. Meadmore's lurking. Ward now, head over the footy. Ganser taps it out. Saunders there, brought to ground. Umpire says play on. And he's going to pull it up. Just on centre, just forward to centre wing here for the Busselton Magpies. Whew.
Wow.
I'm rubbing my knees and my thighs, Grady. This is incredible footy. I'm glad I made the drive today. Ward picks up the footy for HBL. Handballs it backwards, but it only goes as far as Parkinson. Fish. He's stripped of the footy. Offer comes in. Brought to ground. There'll be a ball up just near the boundary on centre wing here, right in front of the showground social rooms. Woo! Aren't you?
Yeah, just waiting which way it's going to go. Who can outlast them?
Don't you just love footy? Kennedy and Ward. Kennedy, really authoritative tap. Only as far as Carboni, been terrific today. Left foot goes up to the half-forward flank. Fleming and Heenan feet for the ball. Ball's now with Strano. Looking for Humphries at full forward. It's dangerous. And Humphries juggles the mark. Then plays on and runs into an open goal and goes bang! Nearly sends it to Harvey at the Harvey end. And suddenly HBL have got a 7-point lead. Craney, how will the Magpies respond?
I hope they got another footy, because Jared fairly given it that right on the goal line. And they worked that very well. When you kick the ball in to a plus percentage to a player of full forwards class, they'll make the most of that. He just stopped, propped, and run into an open goal. And look, both sides are challenged. It's just still can go either way. Macca, what are we only 20 minutes in?
20 minutes down in this quarter. And on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, HBL 10-4-64, Busselton 8-9-57. They'll need to get their wings flapping now, the Magpies, if they want to stay in this game.
Even our man back in the studio, Ben, the swimming superstar, he is sitting on the edge of his seat.
He's looking at the live stream and he's going, what a great game of footy. He's stopped watching the AFL and he's watching the SWFL.
I said, on the Harvey Norman bench, Coach Derek Gall's sucking down that water too.
And I tell you what, we're all warmed up here for half-hour, Craney.
We'll just rattle on through them. Thanks to the Bank of Queensland.
Up we go for KFC, and it's one down by Kennedy. Only as far as Carboni, who's been dynamite today. Offer overruns the football, but now it's in his hands. Here's Piper. Piper gets the ball back to Carboni. Left foot snap. That's been his trademark today. Offer in some space at half forward. Gets a handball over to Manuel. He goes long and strong to the square, and it's another behind of the Lions.
That was very well worked by the Lions. I tell you what, Emmanuel just he settled just the wrong side of the post, though, young fella. Here come the Magpies.
Ball brought back into play by Bowman.
Oh,
and
that is a
wonderful
great
intercept
grab.
mark.
Oh.
Umpire hasn't paid it. They've got the ball, however, back in. Sitting underneath it was Westwood.
I reckon
Westworth.
the smallest bloke
still-
on the field
Jeez,
went to take a screamer.
Westworth
I tell you what,
nearly
that
took
mark
a beauty.
must have been pretty close to being paid out there too.
Yeah, he wasn't paid, but geez, I thought he'd held it long enough. Bowman this time elects for the short pass, and Tenardi takes it on his chest. This bloke has not given up all day. He's been the reason the Magpies have been able to hit the lead at times today. Mitch Tenardi comes back, finds Kemp. Kemp has the football, comes out to the wing, asks a fair bit of Clark, and right with him was Martelli. Martelli fists the ball and gets it over the line as seconds tick over.
Good
Whoa.
by Martelli, a good strong fist that come in to spoil that endeavour.
22 gone. There's a throw in right on centre wing for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes. Kennedy's been dominant in the ruck. The Magpies haven't been able to capitalise on this. Kennedy and Heenan go at it. Heenan wins this one down. Picked up by Carboni on that left boot. Floats it up to the forward pocket. Jack Williams for the Magpies picks up. Goes to his right, then his left, and spears it out into space. Don't know whether that was wise. Haywood gets after it. Can't scoop it up. Mateo's coming to lend support, but it's back in possession of Jonathan Fenwick from HBL. And there's
Been
a
a
free
whistle.
kick. A free kick.
Not sure which way it's going to go. I didn't see which
think
way.
it's going to young Westworth of HBL. He's getting up a bit gingerly, just like the colour of his hair. And he has got a free kick here.
There's another player down on the other side. I tell you what, there's been a few casualties. Hopefully most of them are cramp related.
Here he goes, Westworth. And a beautiful pass to Tartaglia.
Ooh,
He's still
just-
too far
He
out
pointed
to score.
straight to the goal zone,
Yeah,
mate.
but he's 60 metres out,
Yeah,
Alan.
but nothing like having a bit of confidence.
And he's going to soak up some seconds, I think. And they are precious. You reckon, has Tartaglia got the leg, Alan?
It'll take one of his very best efforts from here. But, gee, I tell you what, he looked pretty confident. I reckon he's still looking for a lead, though.
In he comes. Goes bang. It's not the best effort. It's come off the side of the boot. Coming out to meet it well was Anderson. Still in the play. Anderson picks it up inside the boundary. Now it ends back towards the boundary. Snaps on his right boot. Kennedy marks his touch. Finds Brody Howell. The Magpies get the ball out of defence, but it's very haphazard. It's all HBL. Ball's on the ground. It's a hot potato in there. It's at centre half back for the Maggies. And Martelli lays on the ball. He's got plenty of players for company, and it's going to be a ball up. Centre half forward for the Lions.
Time ticking bar.
24 minutes gone. Carboni dribbles one out on that left foot, coming through his camp on his left foot, and he finds Kobe Howe on the chest. Kobe Howe chips it into the middle of the ground.
Yes,
Good mark to Tenardi. Tenardi right in the middle of the ground, plays on, gets around one by hand to Lee. Lee goes onto his left side, gets a handball out to Fleming, asks a bit of him. Patterson has it. He gets it by hand to Clark. Clark pokes it
Beautiful
forward. That's a
little
good
kick.
mark. Getting back quickly is Brody Howell. He's going to have to hurry.
Lovely vision that to Brody Howe, though.
24 and a half minutes gone. He's dead in front. He's going to kick from about 45. Puts it up nice and high. It's not a bad looking drop punt.
Oh.
He's got it. There's only 2 points in this ball game, Crony.
Wow.
3 points in this ball game. Whoa, we have been treated to one of the best today.
That was a beautiful bit of vision, finding Howe by himself and I love the way he didn't take any time at all. He knew the state of the game.
Real awareness.
Went back and look, he had great bit of faith in putting that through, and he did. And still time for this a different result.
Well, according to Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, Cranium, it's 10-6-66 HBL, Busselton 9-9-63. We have clicked over 25 minutes and 20 seconds, and the quarters haven't gone much more than 26 all day.
No, that's right. It'd be very close.
10 seconds to go, we think.
Oh,
KFC, there's enough time for a free kick and a 50, we think. Up they go. One down by Kennedy, only as far as Tartaglia. It's coming back. Socket off the ground by Ferguson. Taken off hands by Manuel. It's come off the side of his boot. Haywood. Looks like the Lions could be home. Westworth puts it up. Big spiral. To the square they fly. It was Humphreys. Went early. No free kick paid. Magpies get it out to the defensive pocket. Meadmore comes in. Tackles an opponent. Lee got it to Piper. Fires on goal. And it's an intercept there by Haywood.
I think the boundary line was, coming up.
It was Bowman forced the ball over.
Everyone looking at the timekeeper. He's got a bit of pressure on him.
Yeah, well, it looks like he might have forgotten where the button is.
Keep the thing going, Macca.
Yeah,
I'm
I
enjoying
reckon
it.
26 and a half gone. One down by Kennedy. Taken by Anderson. He's pulled over the line. The Lions have been tremendous today. They were headed halfway through that third quarter and looked like it could have been all over, but they've hung in for the fight, and there's a shot on goal. Free kick to Tartaglia. There's a siren. The Lions have got up by 3 points at this point in time. Tartaglia could make it 9 or 4, or could stay at 3. Here he comes.
You've given all the options.
Right footer. Pokes it through.
For what was the result? Out on the full, I think, Macca? Yes, I think that was...
No score.
Out on the full, that was...
No score.
So we get the final score. HBL 10 goals, 6, 66 to Busselton, 9 goals, 9, 63. In what has been a magnificent game of footy. Macca, you'd have to be pleased with that.
Oh, like I said, Craney, what an exhibition we've had from both teams today. The experience and the success of Busselton over the years versus these up-and-coming Lion Cubs. They've had time to mature and get games under their belt the last couple of years, injected a bit of experience and class, and suddenly they're a whole new outfit this year. And wowee, and tenacious, Craney.
That's a great word for it.
A lot of young kids in teams like this. Oh, well, Busselton have overtaken us now. She's all over. They fought back, stayed in touch, and did enough to win the game in the last.
Just a quick score update from Geograph Civil 2 for around the grounds. Donnybrook, it's all Donnybrook at Boyanup Oval. 12 goals, 8-83. They lead Dunsborough 1 goal, 5-11. It'll take a big comeback for your boys out at Boyanup, I think.
They'll have to keep playing for another couple of weeks.
We're gonna take a quick break just to get Macca's voice back, and then we'll return to wrap it all up.